Pretty sure we have a hardened blade. It's somewhat straight. Yep, I think this is gonna take a while. All right, we got our blade finished. It doesn't look too pretty, but we're gonna etch it in vinegar like we did with those fighting knives, and that's in order to bring that Damascus pattern back out. Now we just gotta figure out what the heck we're gonna do with a cane. All right, so after a couple of minutes of scrounging around that shed over there, I found all of this. These are two, I think they're like window shutters or something, but when I stack them together, it gives me a nice little groove that I can fit that sword in. I'm gonna take those, glue them together, take this, and just sort of do that. So the sword doesn't fit in that groove as much as I'd like it to, so I'm just gonna take my sandpaper and just sand along these sides, you know, to make a wider groove. Got our slot sanded out. The blade fits in between right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and glue these entire boards together using some Gorilla Glue. And then we'll start our cutting. All right, now while that is drying, I'm gonna measure the width of this and then cut a length of this that wide. This is a warning to all you kids out there who thought super glue was something to play with. It ripped off my skin. Well, at least we know that the glue works. So now I'm gonna cut out that. I'm gonna cut out that. All right, nice. We got that one other piece cut out. And yes, I do have a little bit of extra material, but you can always take material off. You can't always put material back on. I'm kind of mentally preparing myself to cut this because I know this is where, if anything bad happens, this is where it's gonna happen. Fine. You get the idea. So yeah, we're just gonna sand this down a little bit, and then we're gonna squish these two together. I'm not even done sanding, and that's what my table looks like. All right, I got the bulk of this side of the handle sanded down. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and glue these two sides together. I'm gonna go find two flat squares of brass, put one here, be our little end caps, cut off about right here. This part's gonna be our handle. Okay, so the epoxy has been set, but it is not completely dry. So this is either gonna be my biggest power move or my most fatal mistake, but I'm gonna go ahead and try and sand the rest of it down. So yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing. All right, we got our cane pretty much sanded out. First, we need to cut off right there. Second off, we're gonna take this ginormous thing of angle brass and we're gonna cut two little squares out of it. I have these two pieces of brass. One's gonna go right here as a little butt cap for the staff, and one's gonna go at the bottom of the handle. So really, I'm just gonna sand these down so they're nice and then I'm just gonna epoxy them there after knocking off the corners with my angle grinder or something like that. Excellent. And then our final step would be to epoxy this into here. All right, we got our handle, our brass butt caps, our blade, our cane. We got everything we need to finish the build. Now we just gotta go home, etch the blade, stain the handle, and then epoxy everything all up together. All right, so now I have my handle. I'm gonna epoxy it onto this little brass piece. I'm gonna take this brass, epoxy it on this end. All right, so this is our handle piece. I went ahead and wrapped it in some sort of string stuff just to make it look a little nicer. Then I'm gonna get some vinegar so that we can etch the blade, make it darker, and bring out that Damascus pattern. We got our makeshift tank, we got our blade, and we got our vinegar. So now I'm just gonna pour the vinegar in, completely soak the blade. I'm probably gonna leave it in overnight and then pull it out in the morning. Well, I'm gonna take some of this clear top coat and spray it all over this so that the seams are really sealed.
Alright, now all we gotta do is wait.
Just pull the blade out of the etch and you can actually see the Damascus pattern. Now we just gotta epoxy the blade inside the handle and then we're good. Nice.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me!